Happy Friday, folks. Xavier back again with another video, and welcome back to another edition of my rant about Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch. Sorry that it's been a while since I've done a rant about these three shows, but I feel like it's time for me to get back and do a rant about them since I took a long hiatus from doing a rant about them. Now, if you've been watching carefully, it's almost been a year since I decided to do a rant about Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch almost every Friday. So in part one, I explained what were these three shows were about and how long did they ran on MTV. Part two, I talked about my favorite episodes from each show. Part three, I talked about all the characters from each show and who were my favorites. Part 4, I talked about all the video games that they came out with due to their popularity. Part 5, I talked about should these three shows get a crossover if MTV plans to bring them back. And Part 6, I talked about the first day that these three shows premiered on MTV. Beavis and Butthead premiered on March 8th, 1993. Daria, March 3rd, 1997. And Celebrity Deathmatch, May 14th, 1998. Now, in part 7 of my rant about these three favorite shows of mine from MTV, I'm going to be talking about going back to them releasing video games due to their popularity. I want to talk about some of the worst games based on Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch I've ever played in my life. The worst 3 games based on these shows that I've ever played in my life. I'm not going to go in particular order on which game do I like from worst to best or best to worst. I'm just going in my order. So, what game should I start with? Let's start talking about this game. The Celebrity Deathmatch video game. This is one of the wrestling games that convinced me not to buy any worse wrestling games like WCW, NWO Thunder, which I used to own for the PS1, or Backyard Wrestling. And the reason why for that is because what I don't like about the Celebrity Deathmatch game, of course, the fact that this Celebrity Deathmatch game was fucking garbage. Garbage! It sucked. It fucking sucked, man. Looking back on this almost 16 years later, this game was fucking garbage. But the fact that it was developed by one of the worst video game companies, the Big Ape Production. Who were the Big Ape Production? Well, they weren't around long because they only developed 3 games based on licensed TV shows. They developed the first episode of Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, the god-awful Simpsons Wrestling, and this game, Celebrity Deathmatch. This game is basically based on the TV show itself. All you gotta do is just like the TV show, you have celebrities not real but made out of clay, and they fight each other to the death. That's basically what the game is about, based on the TV show. The gameplay, the graphics, and the storyline in this game is fucking laggy and is fucking garbage. That's why I don't feel like buying no bad wrestling games like Backyard Wrestling or WCW NWO Thunder because of this game right here. Oh my goodness, this Celebrity Deathmatch game was god awful. It was released on October 21st, 2003 for the PS2 and Xbox. And it was released a week later for the PlayStation 1. The one thing I like about the Celebrity Deathmatch game is, of course, the voice actors reprising their roles as their characters. especially Judge Mills Lane, who suffered a stroke a year before this game came out. But I'm glad he was able to reprise his role as himself in this game. That's the only reason why I like the Celebrity Deathmatch game, because the voice actors reprising their roles as all the characters. Let me read all the celebrities that are in this game too. Let me see. You got Busta Rhymes, Carrot Top, Cousin Grim, Shannon Doherty, Carmen Electra, Marilyn Manson, Mr. T, the whole NSYNC, Justin Timberlake, Lance Bass, Joey Fatone, Chris Kirkpatrick, J.C. Chases, Dennis Rodman, the late Anna Nicole Smith, Jerry Springer, Wolfman, Zatar the Alien, and they also got Johnny Gomez and Nick Diamond, the commentators of Celebrity Deathmatch, as Gladiator Nick and Wizard Johnny. Anyway, I'm done talking about this game. Let's talk about the next game, based on these 3 shows of mine from MTV that I've ever played in my life. Give me a moment here. Alright, next game I'm going to talk about. Beavis and Butthead, the Super Nintendo version. This game, it's garbage, but it's the best of the 3 in my opinion. I'm going to explain to you why the Beavis and Butthead Super Nintendo version is the best of the 3 games that I'm going to talk about. Because the graphics of the game fits perfectly, is 100% perfect. The graphics are 100% perfect based on the animation of the TV show. The music, the soundtrack is dope, even though you pretty much hear the same songs over and over again from each stage. The controls are decent, and it's fun to play with a friend instead of by yourself. But what the bad thing about the Super Nintendo version of Beavis and Butthead is you and your partner share a life bar. So if you die, then your partner dies too. But I wish the game would have been like longer. And they also had a Sega Genesis version of this game too. But yeah, I used to own the Beavis and Butthead Super Nintendo version. It was kind of fun. But if I still own the game to this day as well as the Super Nintendo, I don't know how much fun I'm going to have playing it now than I did back then. I used to annoy the hell out of my friends and my family playing this game when we were younger. So the Beavis and Butthead game, the Super Nintendo version, it's whack overall, but it's the best of the 3. I can't bash this game too hard due to the fact that I used to own it back when I used to own a Super Nintendo. Oh yes, this game I'm really gonna bash. Oh my god, I had nightmares playing this damn game. Darius Inferno. Oh my goodness, this has to be one of the worst games from the PC that I ever played. Bro, I swear to, I really don't say I swear to God, but I swear to God, bro. I don't know what were they thinking making this Darius Inferno game. Look. I want y'all to listen to this. Darius Inferno received mixed to negative reviews. 4 fat chicks gave the game a favorable review, praising both the gameplay and the game's per cartoon graphics. By contrast, All Game graded the game a 1.5 stars out of 5, finding fault with the game's short length and ease of play, as well as disparaging the dull and unimaginative cartoon graphics. A reviewer from Games First gave the game 2 out of 5 stars. He criticized the game's length and ease, but applauded the voice acting. Just Adventure assigned the game a C+, stating that while the game was far from a classic, it deserved more attention. Entertainment Weekly gave it a C-, stating that the game was nothing short of a trip to HELL. And y'all should know what HELL stands for. Oh man, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking making this damn Daria game. But why? It uses a third-person perspective and consists of 5 levels. Each level contains mazes to navigate as well as inventory-based puzzles. The graphics are styled in the same cartoon manner as the TV show. One positive thing I say about Daria's Inferno is, of course, the voice actors reprising their roles as the characters. That's the only positive thing I can say about this game. Other than that, this game was fucking trash. I'd rather play Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity for the PC than this. Even Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity from the PC was better than Daria's Inferno. Even Rugrats All Grown Up, based on that 10th anniversary TV movie, was better than this. So, if you see this sitting on eBay, look for something else, because this shit is not worth your time, bro. These 3 games right here, based on Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch, bro. I say the Beavis and Butthead Super Nintendo version is the only game I like out of the 3 games that I just mentioned that are one of the worst that I've ever played in my life. But you could go check out reviews and gameplays of these 3 games if you want to. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts about the 3 games based on Celebrity Deathmatch, Daria, and Beavis and Butthead that I just mentioned. But that's going to wrap up part 7 of my rant about Beavis and Butthead, Daria, and Celebrity Deathmatch. Let me know what you guys think about part 7. Thumbs up if you liked this video, thumbs down if you didn't. Hit subscribe if you like the content. Click on the notification bell for the next video. And I will catch you later on tonight, reminiscing 20 years of The Rock versus Billy Gunn and Chyna from the July 26, 1999 edition of Raw is War. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. Peace. Part 8 coming soon.